once again, I'm not that excited. I'm gonna use up my voice because I don't give a fuck about wrestling right now. It's fucking bullshit.
Man, you didn't even watch this shit.
It's fucking no, I couldn't. I couldn't find a fucking stream. God damn it. Oh, look at that. Oh, German suplex. Belly to belly overhead. Fucking and the scoop slam and a scoop and Emma. You know what? You could have used a signature, but turned into a finisher because you did so many moves. Signature first, so you have like a charged up finish. Oh man.
That big show punch out and scared.
I like how Trey is trying to be, he's trying to cosplay as a kid from Bully, which is awesome. You know, I'm glad you got the backpack and everything.
Great game.
Yeah, man. I wish I could put some kind of background behind you, too, so you look like one of those characters. Like, I'm going through the list of wrestlers I want to play with in a video game, and they get to Trey's icon, and it's like, does he get to come with the backpack, or do you have to, like, find out under the ring? Obviously, I'm in the mood to talk about wrestling video games today, because that's how bad the product is.
You know what? Hey, are we gonna do our top 3 favorite wrestling games that we've been trying to do for like 6 months?
Hey, you know I was thinking about it, but fuck no. No, I'm sorry. I hate fucking wrestling. I'm sorry, Anthony. Thank you for being over here right now. Cause here's the thing. I didn't watch any of this shit, so I'm gonna be nothing but questions.
It looks like he's wearing a toga right now.
Yeah, no. Big Show, man. I'm doing the Big Show and shit like that.
We gonna slap this shit over.
Yeah. That shit hurt too. No, but the show, you know what? It didn't quite piss me off as it normally does, but it was a lot of things that was just kind of like meh. Like I know, like you probably want to go down the line, so I don't want to mess anything up, but you probably want to go down the line of the show.
Yeah.
I think because I actually had to go back. Because like the starter promo, which you actually did see, Nick, was the whole Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins, them pretty much saying "Believe in the Shield" again for the 2nd time or the 3rd time, maybe.
No, it was like the 7th time now.
Yeah,
Motherfucker.
So, like it did before they even did the alliance thing. They actually fought before that. It was just like, what's wrong with you? What's wrong with you, man? We gotta do the job. We gotta give the fans what they want.
You know what sucks too is like I'm serious, dude. I'm not trying to be perverted, but like when I see this shit, it's so close to gay porn. Like it's so fucking like this weird lovers quarrel shit. It's like okay, you ever watch a porno where like, they get in a stupid ass argument and then they fuck and then they get back up and they're like, oh, what are you doing? Why'd you do that for? And,
can't say I have because I just skipped to the fucking.
I like the story. I'm the guy who gets a Playboy to read the articles. Like I want to, I want to read. I want to know about the new car that came out and everything. But here's the thing: I like how Trey's just saying they're probably just judging the fuck out of you, Nick. Just judging the fuck out of you.
He's probably like, I muted the fuck out of you right now.
No, but Trey, like,
to accept his opinions when they go off the rails.
Well, let me ask you really quick, dude, Trey, because the thing is, like, I know both of us really, because Hovig's been, like, down to do the show and everything. I've just been fucking out of it. I know, Trey, you're kind of, like, not wanting to do shit as well. And Anthony's gone and double toast the anniversary party and everything. So, whatever. Like, Hovig, MVP for you, because you're the one who always messages me, hey, we doing this shit? I'm like, oh, I'm sorry. So, just, war goes to you, sir. But, like, me and Trey, I'm wondering what you think, Trey, in the sense of, like, do you feel like they really made this shit last way, way too long? Because they've been doing the same fucking thing of like, dude, last week what really pissed me off is that this whole thing that Dean Ambrose was not wanting to be part of the Shield or bringing it back, whatever the fuck. He finally said yes, and Seth Rollins was like, no, fuck that, I don't want to be doing this. And he left the ring. And I'm like, dude, you've been trying for months. You finally got what you want, and now you're going to extend this shit longer so we can have a big go-home show moment, whatever the fuck. Fuck that. Because tonight, they finally did it, and it was, you should have did that shit at SummerSlam. Oh, it's fucking stupid.
The way I was looking at it is that Seth was just giving Dean a taste of his own medicine. That's how I looked at it. Like, oh, he's like, oh, now you want to, no, like, no, fuck that. I'm leaving you high and dry like you left me high and dry last week. That's
I didn't even like that last week. I was just like, Like, of course, they're going to do this whole thing where they get together the following week, which didn't end up happening tonight. Now, I will say this. Ambrose and Seth Rollins segments, this has to be the best one they've done about it. Because like I thought it was cool that they brawled and everything and fought and stuff like that, but then it just literally led up to them just like doing the Shield fist bump. Cesaro and Sheamus coming out to fight that guy, which by the way, hilarious. That guy dropped his phone and he was working.
Yeah, you saw that shit?
Yeah, stop on his phone. phone the whole time. I was like, oh man, one of the wrestlers gonna stump on it. Then he's gonna get sued. Besides that, it was just everything that led up to that was just kind of okay. Like I like the brawl, but other than that, I was just like, okay, we knew they were gonna get together eventually just for that SummerSlam match, and for it to be that for the go home show, it was just mad to me.
You know, I didn't really have too many problems with the opener, but I do feel that if it was like maybe like 3 minutes shorter, it would have been a lot better. Like if they didn't keep doing that whole thing with the fists, like I think it was who was it? Dean starts.
See, that shit right there. I hate the fuck out of that walking back and forth. Dean Ambrose is the most corniest 1980s style fucking NWA wrestlers I've ever seen. Where he does that walking back and forth like, oh, the crowd's gonna get more loud if I just walk back and forth, shaking my head all like jiggly and shit. Like, dude, fuck you. Like, people don't act like that in real life. Anthony, if I met you in real fucking life and you're like, hey, dude, give me a hug. I'm like, wait, is Ali and Gonzo and everybody looking? Let me do this first. Let me walk around Anthony. Oh, should I hug him? Should I fuck him? Like, I don't know what to do next.
What should we do, Nick? We should make out or something. I don't know.
To be fair, Nick. To be fair, Nick, I actually do that.
Well, fuck you. Why do you do that, Hovig? You waste another man's time. He wants to give you a fucking hug. You're going for a fucking hug.
I mean, if the motherfucker's wasting my time, then I return the favor.
It's funny that you say like 1980s because when they finally did do the fist bump thing, because he put his arm out and then he missed it, he put his arm out, and then when then they both collided, and then the crowd had popped and flew. I was just like, okay. This is 2 seconds away from just going like a total freeze frame and shit like that. Like, yeah!
And then Rocky Ford comes out. Like,
I was just like,
anyway, going back to what I was trying to say.
Sorry, I'll go ahead.
If the segment was a couple minutes shorter, and one of the things is the whole brawl that happened, which I think was kind of something that they kind of needed. But if they did the whole brawl before all that other shit happened, like, with the whole, like, trying to do the whole fist bump thing, whatever the fuck, if Dean Ambrose just came out of nowhere, it's like, yeah, fuck you, and he just starts pounding the shit out of it, and then these guys came out, and they did that, I think would have been a lot more, it would have flowed a lot better, and it would have been more authentic, it would have been more authentic, it would have flowed better, and it would have been a little shorter, and I think it would have been more impactful, because it's like, when they kept trying to do the whole fist bump thing and they kept doing it, I'm like, all right, come on, just do it already. We all know you're going to do it. Just go to the back at this point,
Trey, like, I mean, with Hovig saying that, because I'm thinking that's pretty much what you're going to say, Trey, right? Like, I mean, are you on the same boat there with Hovig and the same, as far as if you were booking it, that's what you would do?
100%, because the thing is, it's funny, is because the past promos with Dean and Seth, they were pretty short. But they felt the need to make this one longer. And I was just kind of confused by that. I was like, why did this need to go on that long? And then the facial expressions they made, I'm surprised none of us screenshotted it. Because, man, there was some awkward facial expressions they made during that segment. I was like, dude, what the heck? Like, that segment was kind of a mess at the same time now that I'm thinking about it, where now I'm just like, it was bullshit.
And here's the thing, too. I love Seth Rollins. I really do. I like his look. I like his skills. Granted, he has some Finn Balorisms a little bit. He's always either killing somebody or almost killing himself in the fucking ring. But the thing is with Seth Rollins, though, I wish he had a darker character where he didn't have to talk so much, because they're trying to sell this motherfucker like he's a Shawn Michaels. And the one thing that makes me relate to Seth Rollins, like as a person, is the motherfucker has anxiety problems. Like when he talks on a mic, it's like he feels like he's about to fuck up. Like, have you guys caught like all the botches he does? Like he botches every fucking week when he's talking.
When he speaks, he does kind of try to slow it down so he can like say it.
Yeah, and sometimes ignites the crowd to do the what shit too, because the crowd lets you know if you're sucking ass at a promo if you have a rhythm to it where it's like, next week, I'm going to get you in the ring, and you see how I'm stopping in the middle of all that. That gives you time to go what, what? You know, and like the crowd just like, fuck this promo, we're gonna make fun of you because this shit's boring and it's fucking stupid, and you're giving me a promo that anybody in that whole fucking roster can give me right now. So it's like, I really wish they would have Seth Rollins have a moment where he just doesn't talk and have Dean Ambrose do all the talking, because Dean Ambrose, I'll give him shit about being on that podcast. That shit, I'm still not over that shit, Anthony. Like, when we do the MCA, and we see Double Toast and everything, and like, to see a fucking guy who's getting paid more than Corey Coleman or any of us put together, and he can't handle a fucking podcast with Stone Cold Steve Austin, one of the best podcasters I know. Fuck you, Dean Ambrose. Fuck you in the ass. But in the ring, that guy has a nice flow. It sounds real. I love Dean Ambrose when he does that, except for the running around shit and the pondering and the fucking, like what's up in his ass? He's doing the Negan walk. Like, it's fucking ridiculous. Like, ugh. Anyways, I hate that shit.
And just a short tangent, too, when they was, announcing that Kurt Angle came out, they cut the music quick so the crowd wouldn't continue, but the crowd kept going on anyway, and that shit kind of made me cringe. I was just like, they was loud as fuck too. They just, you suck.
They fucking overpowered his voice.
Stop. Like he had like Kurt Angle, like, bravo to him, because he just soldiered right away through. But I'm just like, crowd, stop. They cut the music for a reason.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I here's another thing, dude. And I said this shit at that fucking Hall of Fame thing. I'm sorry you paid for that, Hovig. No, I'm just joking. I'm sorry, that was mean of me. Kurt Angle. I can't stand Kurt Angle now. I don't want him to come back to wrestle. I don't want to be involved in a feud. Fire him before he fucking embarrasses himself any more than he already has. Fucking guy, every promo he's in, he does his weird stuttering shit. He gets his words mixed up. He accidentally said, hey, Brock Lesnar, Roman, you guys don't fight right now. Wait till you guys fuck to SummerSlam. He literally said fuck on the air, Anthony. Uncensored.
They was doing that a lot tonight. They was fucking up a lot, especially the commentary.
Dude, like, Kurt Angle is so bad. And then, like, those backstage promos, oh my god, they're so bad. And Corey Graves is great. Every time he's talking to anybody else, when he's talking to Kurt Angle, the shit is cringe-worthy. My fucking skin crawls when they're talking to each other. It's fucking terrible. Like, I can't stand Kurt Angle. And the motherfucker looks deformed, too. You know, everyone else is thinking it. I'm going to say it. The motherfucker looks like he's melting. Fuck.
God damn it.
Fucker, man. He's made out of fucking Vaseline.
It's like ice cream on a hot summer day.
Motherfucker is made out of shea butter. Like,
just melting away.
Fucking dog.
We got a cameo.
Yeah.
Fuck off!
I like how he's like, fuck off when you all come here, baby. He loves that attention. That's so adorable. Oh, that's a fucking wolf, by the way. Ain't no goddamn dog.
The gray. No, but yeah, Kurt Angle is a little awkward and weird because he kept making mistakes through the entire night. Like I said, the commentary and like I know like we kind of going off rails here, but just like speaking of the commentary, okay, I don't know if anybody noticed this. Two things. Booker T, of course, fucking up as usual. Like he always does, but he was fucking up like more so tonight. And then I don't know what it was. Maybe I didn't catch something, but it seemed like he switched from a face commentator to like a heel commentator by the end of the night. And I'm like, you know, because at the beginning he was kind of like agreeing with everybody. Like he was kind of like agreeing with them, you know, like going like with the faces. But by the end of the night, he was up there going against the faces, going against Jason Jordan. Like, oh, he was like, oh yeah, the Hardy Boys, like he's getting jumped and stuff like that. But it's like as a heel commentator, he's just like, oh no, he needs to do it on his own. I need to do it on his own. I'm just like, what the fuck just happened between the show? Like, why you just switch like that? Like that was so fucking strange. Like I said, maybe I missed something. Maybe he was doing that the entire night, but I could have swore he was like face commentator at first. And then he kind of just like switched, like he got like an order backstage, like in the middle of the night, and that shit just completely changed. I was just like, that was really weird.
Well, yeah, but like for the sake of segueism, like the thing is, dude, I actually like that you brought that up because I'm wondering, in a sense, what if that was like Booker T doing that? Maybe that's like a kind of way to segue into a whole like Jason Jordan's a heel kind of guy. Like maybe Booker T is saying certain things where you're supposed to pay attention to it. Maybe they'll bring it up in a later highlight package where Booker T is like, yo, you know, Jason Jordan, like, you know, he's too comfortable being underneath Kurt Angle, blah, blah, blah. And later on, it's like, yeah, Booker T was right. Jason Jordan is being a fucking asshole for taking advantage of his position with Kurt Angle. Like, that could be a thing that happens. Maybe he betrays the Hardy Boys at some point. Like, I don't know.
That would be cool, but like knowing WWE, they ain't gonna like take that.
Yeah, you know, I'm sick of coming up with good fucking ideas and
Yeah,
WWE doesn't do any of the goddamn shit.
Like, I mean, look at the Drifter, man. Look at the Drifter, which actually played the guitar well this time and actually tried to sing.
Oh,
I
could give a fuck less. Cut the strings. Like, I'm so sick of Elias Sampson. Oh, go ahead, Hovick.
What are we talking about now?
Dude, I don't give a fuck. Because I was going to do a thing about Ric Flair.
Yeah, because I'm seeing that shit about Ric Flair. We're talking about the Drifter.
No, I'm surprised that we're actually even into the topic of Raw because I wasn't going to talk about Raw today. I was going to talk about fucking NXT. Like, I don't give a fuck.
Fuck everything.
Like, I don't give a shit about wrestling at all. I'd rather... Actually, man, like, hey, what movies you guys been watching? Like, but I'm joking, motherfucker. No, but the thing is...
I was thinking too. I was like, wait a minute.
Well, my thing is, I did kind of want to move on, like, cause I think talking about Ric Flair for last would be kind of a good thing, because I want to talk about your thing you put on there with the show. How about that women's division? Am I right? Because
yeah,
I thought the women did good tonight.
That's kind of why I wrote it that way. Because here's and Anthony, let Trey continue because. We might have a little argument here. And Hovick has his face like he's looking at Pringles and shit, and it's like that's cool. But like,
no. I'm in no conversation with the women's division. They can all go fuck themselves.
Oh man, well, Trey, go ahead. Man.
All I know is my wifey Alexa Bliss is still the champ. That's it.
Which is good, and I'm glad that she is. And
yeah.
She's owning that shit hardcore, especially she was even on Facebook Live today with Nia Jax and Kathy Kelly, which is fucking stupid because I could have sworn that they're all different. They shouldn't be together, right, as far as kayfabe goes. And now WWE is like, you know what, fuck their Instagram. Let's put it on Facebook. Let's put it on WWE.com and really destroy the kayfabe we got going on as much as we possibly can.
That's all Vince is doing, man.
It's fucking
They do that shit all the time. Like, with the Divas, that shit is worse. Like, the social media traction, everything like that. Like, Twitter. Like, thanks to Trey for showing me shit like that and stuff like that. But, yeah, they ruin kayfabe all the fucking time when it comes to the Divas.
Yeah, and speaking of Trey, Trey, what were you...
They have their own show.
Yeah, exactly. That kills the kayfabe. Even Lana's fucking ass.
That destroyed it, slaughtered it, fucking... I don't know what else can you say to killing it.
No, but like Trey though, like I want to ask you though, like, so what do you feel about tonight? Because like I said, I didn't watch tonight. So like, what do you feel about the women's division as far as tonight goes, and maybe anything recent that you feel like you want to bring up?
Okay, so normally I'm very critical of the Raw women's division, and there will still be some critiques because Sasha and Nia was pretty much kind of a botchamania kind of match. Yeah, however, it was, but at the same time. Enjoyed it. I don't know. Like, I felt like with the Sasha and Nia thing, I still got some storytelling out of that made me be like, okay, I'm actually okay with this. Not like 5-star, 2-star, or whatever. It's more like a 1-star enjoyment. Where okay, like yeah, there were botches, but I'm not mad about it. Like, I was like, okay.
You're talking about they wrestled tonight?
Yeah, they wrestled tonight. Yeah.
Why the fuck are they wrestling tonight? I thought it was gonna be like a SummerSlam thing. Like,
no. They were doing a #1 contenders match.
Yeah, to go against Alexa Bliss this Sunday. Okay. Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. It's like I enjoyed it for what it was. I'm not like Anthony. You can go on a tangent about how the match sucked, botchamania, blah blah blah. But it's just like with the whole David and Goliath story I got from it, I'm just like, okay. I give it a thumbs up.
No, like
no, Sasha Banks is on her like she was like that little thing on Kangaskhan's belly. Like that fucking shit was like Pokemon.
Kangaskhan. Well, I'm hoping. No, go ahead, Trey.
Okay, one more thing with the whole because Mickie James and Emma. I like the whole storyline with Emma right now. Like I like that they're really trying to. Like give Emma a chance, even though like even Mickie James was calling her on her shit. Like, listen, like you can talk about it on social media all you want, but unless you show yourself in the ring, that's not gonna mean anything. And she had a match with Mickie James, and it was an all right match. I'm not mad about it. Like, this is the most I've enjoyed the Raw Women's division in a very long time tonight.
Do you feel like this is enough to have not just 2 or 1, but like multiple storylines going on at the same time on Raw, or no? I feel like Emma.
Yeah, I feel like Emma needs this kind of a redemption thing or whatever that she got going right now. I'm gonna be honest. I really don't care for the Raw Women's Championship. Like, I mean, I liked what I saw tonight, but other than that, Like, this is just one night out of all the other nights where I'm just like, man, fuck this division. Like, I don't think Raw does enough for me to care about the champion. I'm more caring about Emma's redemption thing she got going on right now more than the actual championship, and that's a problem.
Yeah, no, it really is, and this is something that we've complained about for a while. But then, you know, like, at least Alexa Bliss is on social media constantly. She's doing all this shit. I mean, I'm not trying to argue with you because I totally agree. But then you get something like Naomi, who was my fucking favorite for a while, and not just because I want to fuck her really, really hard and then apologize for giving her not that great of a night. But the thing is, though, is fucking Naomi. I was trying not to laugh. But,
I tried, but it's broke.
I apologize for giving her a bad name.
I'm just saying, there's a lot of ass there, dude. Like, I'm not gonna impress anybody. But the thing is,
no doggy style, bro. Just don't no doggy style. That's it.
you
That's
can't
all I'm
help
saying.
with that fucking thing.
I know,
But anyways, no, it's fucked up, man. It's a big ass. But here's the thing, though, Naomi, you know, the whole glow shit that she does. She's tried to force feed us that fucking thing. Like a goddamn like reverend at a fucking church with the God shit. Is like she's really pushing the glow thing down our ass or up our ass wherever like directions.
wherever there's neon
it's that
painted on
angle.
her. wherever there's neon painted on her, that's where she wants you to feel the glow.
Exactly. But here's the thing though, like my issue with her is that she's not having matches. She keeps having the same match with Lana over and over again on SmackDown. Never has a. I don't know what the number one contender is on fucking SmackDown other than Carmella is the Money in the Bank.
Natalia, right?
Natalia.
Okay, yeah, you're right. And maybe, I mean, is that going to be at SummerSlam this week? I mean, I know we're talking about
yes.
It's SummerSlam cross show, right? It's post show.
Raw.
So it probably will be. To hop on what Trey was saying though earlier, I will give Emma that one thing. Like that was the one time that they used social media to actually cross over with the show and actually use it as a storyline. If they actually gonna break kayfabe with the Divas, they might as well just go all the fucking way and actually, use them to interline. I know sometimes they do it with Total Divas, sometimes they interlace that with WWE storylines and stuff like that. Like, catch Total Divas to actually do that. So sometimes you can actually be really clever with that. But on the other fucking side, I'm tired of them building up Nia Jax as the fucking monster, and she keeps losing to people like Sasha Banks over and over again, who's already went for the fucking title how many times?
And losing clean, by the way.
Yeah, so I'm just like, why even build it? I'm like, I don't even give a shit anymore. It's kind of like the Big Show or like the Great Khali situation. It's just like, no, you can't erase that shit. You already made it seem like these people can beat Nia Jax over and over again. In my case, she should have got that belt back at WrestleMania. Nia Jax should have won that shit, like way clean, and probably now losing it to SummerSlam to like somebody like Alexa Bliss or something like that, who made me laugh because during this match they was fucking fighting and shit like that. I don't know if you have footage of this shit, Dick, but Alexa Bliss sitting on this high ass chair, which is kind of random. I'm just like, is this bitch Shao Kahn?
No, I know. I love that shit, and I'm trying to find the spot where it's actually showing it here.
Because it was like Nia Jax, Sasha Banks, fight. I was like, what the fuck? She taking over Outworld?
No, man.
One of the things that they keep fucking up is that they always
there it is right there. That shit. But yeah, anyways, I'm having trouble finding it, whatever. But the thing is, though, is like with that said, though, and I know Hovig, you're continuing on, but one thing I have an issue with, and Hovig can kind of touch on this as well, but like, I really hate when they get big people, right? And they keep like being off the ground. Like the whole idea of you being big is that like I gotta chop at the fucking feet. I gotta earn you to get off the mat. I gotta earn you to get on that turnbuckle. It needs to be a big deal. Nia Jax was flipping and flopping all over the fucking place tonight. Like she's a lightweight. Like, I know it's impressive that you can pick your big ass up and do all these flips. Great. Very talented. But this isn't America's Got Ass. Like, you need to fucking beat a big girl who's hard to get off the ground. Sasha Banks flew her over the fucking ropes.
You know what's funny? It's like the genetic jackhammer has a hard-on for giants in the fucking company, right?
And finally one female.
But you got two of them that are female. You got Tamina and you got fucking Nia Jax, and they're both like the biggest bitches on the fucking on the roster. Because it's like they don't know, like you said, Nick. It's like this fucking woman is getting flipped and flopped all over the fucking ring by a little chihuahua like fucking Sasha Banks.
Yeah.
I'm like, what shit is this? And you got Tamina who's just there. It's like, oh yeah, Lana, yeah, me and you right here. I'm about to fuck you up if you don't listen. I'll fuck. What the fuck
but it's frustrating because you'll get a situation where it's like, okay, and I hate to do this old man shit, but like back in the day, if you had even China, because she was kind of tall and big and muscular and shit.
She was one of the big ones, yes.
Yeah. when you get her on the fucking top rope for a superplex, I remember Jim Ross like, holy fuck, that bitch got suplexed. Like, he's flipping out. On here, they did a badass suplex. Sasha Banks and them were fighting on the top rope, and then he fell down. And Michael Cole's like, wow, man, hopefully she goes for the pin. 1, 2, of course she kicked out. It's fucking wrestling. Like, that should have been like fucking highlight reel. That should have been huge. She's big. The bitch is heavy.
You know, like, the fucked up part is that none of these women in this fucking company right now will ever measure up to what like Beth Phoenix or China did, and they were like the only women who were ever in the Royal Rumble. Yeah,
I know. And Nia Jax should win the fucking Royal Rumble. She's so goddamn big and powerful.
Right? She should be going up against like people like Kevin Owens and fucking everyone else at the Royal Rumble. But no, she's losing to Sasha Banks.
She's gonna sit on my face, and I'm not gonna be able to feel it in my leg.
Oh, okay. That's a shout out to people are not gonna understand what that fucking means, but we had this guy Justin Alvarez, a Rook, come on the show, and I don't know if you were there, Hovig. I'm pretty sure you were. But this motherfucker's like, man, Nia Jax, she's pretty, man. I'm gonna have her fucking sit on my leg or sit on my ass, and she gonna fuck my leg up. I was like, what the fuck? Like,
this motherfucker did not understand anatomy.
Like, that motherfucker was a sexual pretzel. Like,
hey, mom, yeah. I got another one for you. He wants women to sit on his ass or some shit. I don't know what the fuck you trying to do. Big women too. Big women.
God.
Oh man. I love Trey's silence because it's just I'm feeling so judged.
Yeah, I am judging this time.
Just like a
joke fucking killed Ric Flair, man. Jesus Christ. No,
I just wanted to mention this too. Did anybody else forget that Mickie James was part of the Raw roster? Because I did.
Nope.
I love her.
I consistently watch the product. I know that she's been wrestling lately.
Yeah.
Because I totally forgot.
She just had a match with Emma tonight. And
and apparently that was a good match. Everyone's talking about that. I kept seeing it on social media. And Trey, you can tell me right now too. Like, was that match worth the praise? Because people were kind of like, "Oh my god!" Like they were fighting. It was a great fucking match.
It was okay.
Yeah, I give it 1.5 stars. It's better than Nia Jackson, Sasha, but not by much.
It was a fucking match, basically what you're saying.
Yeah. She didn't sell that. Emma didn't sell the fuck out that the chick kick. Like that shit was awkward as hell. I was just like, oh wait,
I thought she sold it well. I will say Emma sold it really good to me.
Yeah. So like, I mean, do you guys think that Emma's gonna come back from any of this mediocrity that she's going on? Like Trey, like you've been watching the product and everything too. I know Hovig has too, and I'll get to you as well. But like Trey, you know, do you feel like Emma, this is the beginning of something good here, or that bitch gonna fall off?
I think she's gonna fall off. I don't think it's the beginning of anything good. Like WWE is known for doing these kind of things. Zack Ryder being the biggest example of that. Ironically, because Zack Ryder and Emma used to date. And
lucky motherfucker.
And yeah, I know he's lucky. And he left her for some girl from TNA. I forgot her name, but I think it was Allie or whatever her name is. But anyway,
damn it! No, go ahead. Like how Anthony's like, oh god, awkward, don't do that. No, but go ahead.
I just feel like Emma is done. I don't know. Like I hope she's not done. Like I want her to bounce back because like I've been following her since NXT. Like that whole her saying she started the Women's Revolution. She's not lying with the stuff she did with Paige. Like I mean, back in NXT. So it's just like I really want to see her pull through, but I think it's too late.
Oh, sorry guys, Skynet's coming.
I really believe when they was trying to bring her back as Emelina, like they were.
I was just about to say that shit.
Waiting so long to pull the trigger when they finally debuted her, and then they rewrote it like retcon and shit. I think that was pretty much like the death sentence, like to her entire career.
The biggest nail in the coffin was when she came out dressed up as Emelina and said, "We're going to go back to Emma." I was like, "You're done, bitch. Leave.
Yeah, you're done.
Just go."
And speaking of being done too, this is a big thing I want to talk about. Me didn't get a chance because we were doing a show, and I like. Okay, by the way, like this is how you can tell when people just don't give a fuck about wrestling. And Bleacher Report, people need to stop going to them all the time because they just fucking ripping off other news sites. But over here, I'm looking this up. Even Marie, she finally got released. But they got WrestleMania. Like this bitch will ever see a WrestleMania logo in her whole fucking career. But like, hey, speaking of Eva Marie, WrestleMania, biggest event ever because she's totally fucking like what? there you go. That should have been at the top of the fucking page. But
they probably only did that because that was like the last time you seen her in the ring.
yeah, exactly. Oh, you're right. Wasn't it?
Yeah, I believe so. That was the last because we haven't seen her in a year.
Yeah.
So
yeah. Oh, all read everything forever. Never, bitch. You were never. What the fuck did you do?
she needs to realize all she was a sexy thing to look at. She was nothing else in the fucking company.
No, how could you? How can you not remember the great matches Eva?
I think Marie.
Marie.
Well, she pretty much like. Tell me if I'm wrong, but she was pretty much the Kelly of now.
Oh, don't even insult Kelly like that.
Wait a minute.
At least Kelly was good at giving dudes roadhead.
Damn.
No, because here's the thing. Because Kelly and Randy Orton even announced this on the fucking radio show back in St. Louis, where the fuck he was on a radio show talking about how Kelly was hired because she was giving the boys a good time on the road. She was the official, what do you call that? Travel buddy is what they used to call her. That's a really cool name, by the way. Like, I would suck a dick if they call me Travel Buddy. That's awesome. Like, I'm a Travel Buddy!
So she was the groupie.
Yeah, well, it's literally like a paid groupie who had a groupie title. It's like, World Groupie Champion!
Damn.
But the funny thing is,
so that explains why there was pictures of her and Chris Jericho in nightclubs and shit.
Yep, because she would literally, Vince would actually, like, appoint her to travel with people. You know how, like, wrestlers decide to travel with each other sometimes? But she would just, her ass would be doing a lot of stuff.
Like, Hovig was like that meme and shit with the black dude. Like,
yeah.
I know I was joking earlier, but I actually can name one match Eva Marie had that was good.
Me too.
And she was carried the whole match. And it was against Bayley for the NXT Championship. And the storyline behind it was fantastic. I loved it.
Wait a minute. She was part of the championship?
Yeah, she actually. Okay, the thing is, the authority figures of NXT was trying to push Eva Marie because Eva Marie's supposed to be their idea of champion, sexy, and all this stuff. Bayley isn't, and Bayley was trying to like fight back against the authority. Stand her ground to be the NXT champion to the point where they had all this interference in the match and everything. I mean, Eva Marie was carried the whole match, but the storyline with Bayley and what they had in that match was fantastic. So that's the only good thing I can name from Eva Marie's career.
The thing about this too, though, that she doesn't get enough credit for, I actually did watch because Total Divas. I'm sorry, I'm into Total Divas. I apologize.
I am too, Nick. I'm not gonna lie.
See, we're all into it. And you remember something? Season 3. Brian Kendrick was trainer. And
dude, that's right. And the entire locker room, the entire women's locker room were fucking pissed.
Yeah, they're jealous as fuck because it's Brian Kendrick, and we all know, I mean, we were fans of, like, a little bit of the tag team division 2005, Paul London, etc.
Paul London, Brian Kendrick.
Yeah, they're fucking great. Imagine that on a female, like, that's not too bad. And Eva Marie was doing that shit. It's just they never gave her a chance because the bitch is so fucking generically hot. It's like, well, I don't know, gotta be a hot chick.
I remember somebody went up to Mark Carrano and they're like, "So what's going on with Eva Marie?" She's like, and he's like, "Oh yeah, sure. Currently, right now, she's out in Los Angeles training with Brian Kendrick." And they're like, "What?"
I know. Even Nikki Bella was like, "Fuck, I'm training with John Cena. I'm never gonna get anywhere."
That's like the biggest like tragedy when they do that shit like that. Like, I really hate when I to hear that. Like, the only ones that slip through the cracks, like Trish Stratus, she's like the big example. Like, they was having her be like a fucking dog, and then she actually turned out to be like a really good wrestler in a sense, and actually like one of the biggest divas of all time. But it goes back to like divas like Layla E, who actually could go in the ring, actually was fucking sexy while doing it, but they was like, nah, make her lose weight, make her like get a little bit lighter, and team her up with Michelle McCool. I'm like,
yeah.
Why?
And then have her be this like generic cutesy fucking type, like, oh my god, Michelle, can you believe it? And it's like, wow, dude, like she doesn't even talk like that.
No, she does not. Like, she would use, man, like that shit, like the 2006, I think that was 2006 Divas Church when Layla A was on that shit. She was the fucking hottest babe on that fucking show. Yeah. And then they just like destroyed it. I'm just like, wow.
I liked Lay Cool. I thought Lay Cool was pretty great.
I like Lay Cool too. But the thing is like Layla L, she at least had some kind of fucking like accent, like naturally. She wasn't like fake Laclana or some shit. She actually was like who she is a good enough character by itself.
Yeah,
She ain't had
true.
to change shit.
True,
Didn't have to change nothing.
but the thing is, we know that she was playing a character. Granted, you guys didn't like the character, but I feel like Lay Cool accomplished a lot and even brought back some old stuff from like old school wrestling, like the double champion thing we ain't seen in a while. That is even being done right now currently, like teams like with the New Day. Even New Day is trying to do this thing where if any of them becomes single champion, that they are the single champion. Like all of them are that champion. That originally.
Oh yeah,
They both. What we're talking
they
about.
both. Yeah, they both did. Oh my damn.
Yep, I knew I shut you the fuck up.
No,
I got interrupted.
what I was gonna say is because I remember they did that with the Divas, the butterfly fucking belt. That they were both the champion at one point. Didn't the Bellators do that shit too?
Yeah, they did. Or no, they didn't.
No, I don't remember them ever doing it.
Because Hovig is on something there too, not like on drugs though, but like, but the thing is like, if they had the belts for so long, like, where they're the only women's or divas tag champs ever, because there was 2 titles, so like, who counts as a champion? Because obviously they weren't tag team women's championships because they didn't have no women's tag teams.
I mean, Michelle McCool won the title, but her and Layla were the champions because I think. I think Layla was the last women's champion. I don't know. I don't think I'm confused again. I don't remember. I gotta go back and look. I think I was either Layla or Michelle McCool. That was the last real women's champion. Divas championship.
Oh yes. No. Okay. I like how it got so quiet. Like, no, yeah, wrestling.
I need milk.
Like, but dude,
Yeah.
here's the thing though, like
Stuff like that is why I'm glad Layla did Lay Cool. She did serious things.
no, like I said, man, like we can all look at these girls and think they're hot and everything, but that's the thing is like she's hot until she ain't there anymore, and she ain't there anymore because they got nothing other than she's hot, and that shit lasts for only so long. Mickie James was hot too, but I'm sorry, Anthony, I feel like that's all she had, and you know what proves that? Is that her coming back wearing pants instead of a skirt with her ass and vagina hanging out. Fucking.
Okay, she was doing that before she left.
I know she was. And even in TNA, she had those booty shorts on and ass cheek heaven, right? Like, fucking insane. Like, I'm like thrown off thinking about her ass cheeks, dude. Like, I need to get laid. Fucking A. But it's not even a picture. I'm just thinking about it.
You've been on the roll, man.
God damn it, dude. No, but here's the thing, though. I'm fucking out. It's my first time back. No. Yesterday doesn't count. But anyways, as I was fucking saying, though, Mickie James, that's all she had. When she came back and she doesn't have that sex appeal, dude, she has sucked ass since she's come back. On the mic, she was on Talking Smack. Talking Smack, you get to talk about whatever the fuck you want to do and say whatever you want to say. And she was awful. And when they sent her to Raw, I mean, as far as like what you guys are saying, tonight's like the first night that she's actually doing something that's kind of interesting. And the reason why it's interesting tonight is because it was against Emma. I really do think that people haven't seen enough of Emma, and that's why that shit was a big deal tonight. I mean, Trey, do you think I'm wrong or?
I don't think you're wrong at all. She got wrapped into a storyline that's supposed to be for Emma, and I mean, granted, yeah, she is a 6-time women's champion, but I think it's one of those like Dudley Boys things where she's not being respected as such anymore. I mean, it could be that they're doing that whole passing the torch thing, like what Chris Jericho does, but Mickie James doesn't have that same what's the word? I guess fan power. Well, no, she has the repertoire. It's just that the fan power, like that's what Jericho does.
No, you're right. But I mean, to move on really quick, because I know we're going to talk about divas a whole lot. I want to talk about one diva with a dick, and that's Enzo Amore.
Fast forward.
Can we just
Oh, wait, here we go. Yeah. Can we just put out a fire?
Can we just answer the question? Is Enzo dead yet? Yes, he's dead. Okay, the end.
Because here's the thing, and the reason why I'm asking that, Big Cass, like, for one, apparently Big Cass is going through some shit backstage. Apparently something happened, and he told people he supports Donald Trump or something, and they kicked him out of the fucking locker room. And Enzo's also kicked out of the locker room. Big Show don't like the dude in real life. On the storylines, everyone who really fucking hates these guys are all involved with each other. Every time I see Enzo, he's either running away, and he's a face, by the way, but he's always running away like a heel, or he's getting beat the fuck out of. I almost think that the writers want Enzo to get seriously injured, and they keep putting him against real big fucking dudes having to throw him. Like, dude, Big Cass is his friend, and he threw a motherfucker over the ramp like that one night. It was like 3 weeks ago. and he threw his ass. And it's like, y'all trying to kill Enzo. I feel like no one likes Enzo, and they're almost just like trying to find a reason to get rid of this motherfucker. Like, what do you feel, Hobie?
We've talked about this plenty of time on the show, man. All Enzo is just a fucking dude with a mic. That's it. He can't fucking wrestle. He can't do shit. As a matter of fact, did you guys listen to that Simon Gotch fucking podcast about Enzo?
Dude, yeah, I heard about it and I read the bullet points. But man, Simon Gotch went off on that motherfucker.
I listened to what he said about Enzo. He's like, he can't wrestle worth a shit. He's like, he doesn't follow directions. He doesn't do this. He doesn't. I'm like, bro, why the fuck did they even have him? Oh yeah, he's good on the mic and he could sell fucking shirts.
And
that's
Big
why.
Cass. And Big Cass is such a. I really like Big Cass. You know.
No, Big Cass slowly started getting better when he left Enzo.
And here's the thing, though. That motherfucker, I don't know how much Cheetos this motherfucker gets, but he is starting to have my body, but stretched out for 7 feet. Like, and you can't fucking teach that. Like,
no, like his promos, man, like they are like the one because it was started off rocky, but as he continued throughout the night, and his kind of like playing with the crowd was actually kind of cool. But it actually has way more personality. But I did like that promo that he was coming on Enzo. He was just like, yeah, Big Show, because they made it make sense in the sense of the storyline because he's just like, oh, why's Big Show? Like they made it Enzo like needed Big Show because he was just like, oh, Enzo, he as long as he runs his goddamn mouth and he has somebody to like back him up backstage. It was almost kind of like they were referencing the real shit. Like he's like he always pisses somebody off backstage and I always got to clean that shit up. So I was just like, damn, that's actually kind of fucking clever. And then it actually switched it on Big Show. Why Big Show needs Enzo? It's just like, oh, he needs him to stay relevant, stuff like that. Because like, when was the last time Big Show did something? Yeah. And I was just like, damn, that makes sense. So that the only thing that is kind of weird is just the whole cage element. Because it's like, what is up with WWE in this fucking cage match lately? Like putting everybody in a fucking cage. Like I don't get it. So
yeah,
that's actually kind of weird. And the whole I don't know why the and maybe I missed something, but I don't know why the what the fuck is their names? The
club.
The club got involved in the whole thing, which was actually kind of cool. I like the whole development of that. Like they pretty much smashed Big Show's hand, so he wanted to, use the whole big punch and shit like that later. But yeah, like
the Saviors, our Straight Society did, like in 2010.
True.
And yeah,
true. I like the promo though. Like he was just like, yeah, we're fighting at the Big Apple and stuff like that. When he went backstage and pretty much was telling Big Show that his arm is broken. That shit actually had intensity, and I haven't seen that intensity in Big Show in a long time. When he had the thing, he was just like, dude, you got to look at the big picture. And then Big Show was just like, big picture. I'm the Big Show. Don't you ever forget that. And I actually thought that was badass.
Man.
So
yeah, I mean, I guess you're right, but I was just for me, it's like big picture is like, you know what? Speaking of big,
I know, because they was doing it a lot, but it was just like that was somewhat cool. If I had to cherry pick something that was actually cool out of that whole thing, that was cool. And like I said, Big Cash's pretty much promo was cool. And it's kind of funny that you said that they all don't like him. Like Big Show doesn't even like Enzo, because that's what it seems like when he was walking out with Enzo like on the ramp and shit like that. Like Big Show did not look at him at all. It almost did look like he wanted to turn around and punch the fucking dude. Yeah. So it's just like, I guess you could feel that. So
there's a quota that you need to meet as well. I feel like sometimes like I think the reason why CM Punk worked so well when he was doing things is because like there's a certain audience that's not getting what they need. Like the smarks, the like us, the dirt sheet reading motherfuckers like us, like the Bleacher Report people like us, and it's like, we need someone that we can fucking relate to. And even if we don't like him, Enzo's that guy in a way when you think about it. Because what we're seeing is technically what's being projected from all this like dirt sheet shit. So usually this is like bathroom break shit. But we're watching Enzo to be like, oh, it's that motherfucker. He's a real piece of shit, right? Oh, like pull the curtain. Sweet. And you watch it and it's like, this is kind of cool. Like, I don't know, like turn the backstage shit into a storyline. Give us some reason to watch Enzo. I don't give a fuck if he wrestles or not.
Like, what's the name used to always say, and I always love this fucking quote. Jerry the King Lawler, he always said, the best storylines, make them personal.
Yeah, exactly.
It is like, I love that.
And speaking of making things personal, I'm going to do a Be the Booker here because I don't know what's going to happen with this shit. But the Brock Lesnar thing, okay? I mean, I made the thumbnail of Brock Lesnar for a fucking reason. But for one, I don't know what happened at the end. Which one of y'all want to tell me? Actually, Anthony, you go ahead. Like what
Oh,
happened?
like no, I think Hovik could probably actually do better because my stream started to lag, but they were pretty much just talking. I will say this: Paul Heyman is good as Paul Heyman as always is. He's pretty much the salesman of like everything because he was just like, yeah, we got to stand. He pretty much like sold it. Like he pretty much just told the audience, oh yeah, they're gonna fight because he has said something in particular. Where he's just like, yeah, you can get all the security that you want, but shit is going to go down. Like he pretty much just said that to the audience, and I'm just like, hey, always get Paul Heyman to fucking talk, because when you get Paul Heyman to talk, you sell tickets, you put ass in seats.
Hey,
Exactly.
Paul Heyman made the fucking Great Balls of Fire sound decent. Okay.
Exactly. Yeah. But here's the thing, though. Like for me, because I'm just gonna assume what happened. Brock Lesnar went in there, hopped around for fucking 10 minutes while Paul Heyman did all the work. And then he fucking wrestled or fought Braun Strowman or something, right? So it was like, oh, orgasms for men who want to watch these two guys go at it. I'm sorry, but like I'm sick of that shit too.
Actually, what happened? Paul Heyman just came out, spoke some shit. He even spoke shit to Kurt Angle in his face because he was sitting ringside. Yeah. And then one by one, everyone else started coming out. Samoa Joe said some shit, and then Braun Strowman said some shit. The Roman Reigns said some shit. And then they all started fighting. And then Braun and Brock threw Samoa Joe and Roman Reigns out the fucking ring. And they were the last two in the ring. So Kurt Angle had security all around the ring on the outside. So they all ran inside, separated Braun and Brock. And they started fucking trying to fight each other. But the security held them back. And then they broke free. They threw all the security out the fucking ring. And then the entire Raw roster came out. And then they were trying to separate both the guys. And then they just started fighting. They started breaking through. They kept fighting and fighting. And they started getting held back. And they continued. And then the show ended.
Now, the thing is, what I'm going to bring up. Everyone already knows. Brock Lesnar is going to be, I guess, because he already made posters and shit. I don't know how official it is. But John Jones from UFC called out Brock Lesnar. They want to fight.
Yeah, no. And Paul Heyman brought that up in the promo.
Oh, really?
Actually, yeah, he pretty much was just like, oh, y'all conspiring against me because we're talking about things that's WWE and not so WWE. So, like I said, Paul Heyman is a fucking genius.
Yeah, that's really smart, actually. That's really cool. But, like, that's the thing. It's like, so we know that's going to happen. He has to go into training and everything, so we can't see Brock Lesnar for a while. And, you know, the storyline of this right now that they really did in that really bad promo with Kurt Angle 2 weeks ago is about Brock Lesnar saying, you know, if he loses this match, he's going to quit Raw. He's going to quit WWE. So it's obvious. This is his last match this Sunday. You know, so that sucks in a way because that was the only thing I was actually looking forward to on a bi-weekly or whatever the fuck tri-weekly basis. So obviously he's probably going to lose. But how do you guys think he's going to lose? Because I think with this whole personal thing that you have with Samoa Joe, I feel like we're going to have Paul Heyman betray Brock Lesnar for Samoa Joe. And
or Braun.
Or Braun, there you go. Or Braun, which Braun kind of needs it. Samoa Joe can handle his own fucking discussion.
Because what I'm thinking is that Braun Strowman might actually end up beating Lesnar. Because I think that was the original plan to begin with before he got injured. So I really think that Braun is going to end up winning the match, maybe with the help of Paul Heyman. I'm not too sure. I'm kind of 50-50 with that.
Why do y'all think that Paul Heyman is going to screw them over? Like, why do y'all think they got to put the trigger on something like that now?
Because Paul Heyman, like, I watched the weekly, the Hustle. This hustle.
The Heyman Hustle?
The Heyman Hustle, yeah. I check that out all the time. And usually he's much busier, and he hasn't been in the last 3 years. And I just feel like the man, I mean, work, dude. You need work. And it's like Paul Heyman's more over than Brock Lesnar ever was. Brock Lesnar doesn't even have a fucking catchphrase. True. Paul Heyman is the whole gimmick. I mean, Brock Lesnar, all he has is Suplex City shirts, and that comes off Heyman's mouth. So I'm just kind of like, you know what? Like, why would you lose Paul Heyman? Fuck Brock. Brock, go do something else then. We barely see you anyways, motherfucker. Like, who else can Paul Heyman do something for? And to be honest, Braun Strowman is my Brock Lesnar. I fucking love Braun Strowman. Every time he comes onto the ring, I'm glued to the fucking set, the TV set. I want to see what he made Roman Reigns awesome. Like, dude, I'm loving it, you know? So, yeah.
And, another thing that I think is that I honestly think that it's going to be going – do we know what the next pay-per-view is? Is it Night of Champions or Clash of Champions?
Yeah, that's the next one after that. Or maybe it's Hell in a Cell.
No, because Hell in a Cell is in October.
Okay.
Do we know if it's a Raw or SmackDown pay-per-view?
It'll be Raw for sure.
Raw, so then there might be like a good triple threat match coming then with Joe, Reigns, and fucking Braun, because one of them is gonna fucking win.
Or have it where Brock Lesnar gets so pissed off at some kind of betrayal of Paul Heyman, or not even betrayal, but maybe like he wins the match because everyone thinks he's gonna quit because of the storyline, and then Braun's like, "No, that's it. I'm not finished with you," and it's 1-on-1, and then we get a betrayal, or we just get Brock and Paul Heyman getting destroyed by Braun. And
oh man, I was just about to say that shit.
Yeah.
I was just about to say, like, Brock wins, Braun fucks Brock Lesnar up so bad that Brock has no choice but to surrender the title.
Yep, exactly.
Damn, that would be fucking crazy. That would put Brock Lesnar like so far up.
Yeah,
like,
and it will guarantee that at some point after his UFC match,
he got his rematch. Yep,
Yeah,
and he gets his rematch.
Maybe at Royal Rumble, you know,
or Survivor Series.
Yeah, there you go, that too. So, I mean, there's many things that can go with that. And back to what Anthony said earlier, since we just thought of that shit, and that's a good idea, and I'm all happy and smiley and warm inside, it ain't gonna fucking happen.
Nope.
I wouldn't be surprised if John Cena comes in the fucking
You want to know what? Fuck, bro. Don't say that shit. He's the free agent, remember?
Yeah.
But
what if he wins it the next night against Brock on Raw or something? That would be some shit.
Dude, tomorrow, John Cena has a match against Jinder Mahal for the WWE title.
For no,
what was the point?
Last
week? Yeah, what was the point of the Shinsuke and John Cena match if he was going to get the WWE title match before SummerSlam anyway? What kind of bullshit is that?
Yeah, I'm not joking around. And guess what? With this, Anthony, you know what's funnier? Is that they just announced last week that John Cena's going to be doing Raw full time. So explain what sense does that fucking make? God damn.
I was on point. I was quiet doing that Brock Lesnar stuff because I just don't care. I really do.
No, the world titles are
I was quiet doing that Brock because I don't care.
Since we talking about like titles and shit like that and shit that doesn't make sense, Tozawa, the belt, the cruiserweight.
Did he win the belt?
He won the belt.
Okay, yeah, fuck this show. God,
I was just like, wait, what?
Do you know the pay-per-view is in 6 fucking days?
Yeah, that really threw me for because I'm like, he's just gonna win it back at SummerSlam. If they wanted him to win, they should have just. That was weird.
They should have all the writers watch Rise and Fall of WCW on a loop.
No, they should just watch the fucking Monday Night Wars and remember why everything was good back then.
Yeah.
And then,
this is literally what happened at the last year, 2001 of WCW. This is literally what happened. Like, god damn it, dude. Nitro 3 hours, Raw 3 hours.
At this point, Nick, we're one finger poke of doom away from death in this company.
Well, I just want to say that I didn't find Neville losing the title random. More so, I think it should have happened during SummerSlam.
That's what they're saying. That's what everyone's saying.
I mean, I'm okay with it happening because really, Neville's been running around with that title way too long. So I was just like, I don't really care. I don't even care for the Cruiserweight Championship. Do y'all care? Is there where y'all care?
No, because
Neville was the only reason why I care.
No, exact. Thank you. God, I love you. Yes, because 205 Live has actually been doing shit pretty fucking good lately. And I think the reason why is because I don't have to do a show about it, so I don't have to like really think too much. I can just sit there and enjoy the shit. But like Neville, without talking, because I hate his stupid fucking "Hello, mate, I'm from the fucking Reigns," like whatever the fuck. I hate his voice. I hate that accent. I'm sorry, I'm racist. I don't care. I'm American. It's normal over here. Okay? But the thing is, fucking Neville. It's fucking stupid. I'm an asshole. But the thing is, it's like Neville. He was a great champion, and I love that he didn't talk. And then you get to Zawa, and I'm sorry, but god damn it, that like
yo, that shit's fucking annoying.
Dude, the fur ball in his fucking mouth needs to go. Like Jesus Christ, like, motherfucker been licking his own balls all day. And Tyler O'Neil's over there like, yeah, you do that shit.
Yeah, he's doing he's doing
Yeah, it's the cats and dogs and Apollo Creed. What's his fucking name? Like,
wait, what do they call themselves? Like the Titus brand, yeah.
The Titus brand. I thought they were called the Minority Group because that's all they fucking do. It's like
the Minority Report.
No, it's actually the Minority Report.
Well,
all they need is Darren Young to get the gay crowd too.
I mean, my point of me bringing up the Cruiserweight Championship and y'all's reaction is the fact that y'all complaining about this. Meanwhile, we had a literally wrestling match that's happening this Sunday where Bray Wyatt won, which congratulations, won another match. That's rare. Yeah. But then he felt the need to pour, quote, blood on Finn Balor. We're complaining about the Cruiserweight Championship.
No, I was getting to that. I was really getting to that shit because that was the next thing I was gonna complain about. Because you know what, WWE, look at me, because y'all motherfuckers completely missing the point of one of my favorite fucking characters in WWE in a long fucking time, and it's pissing me off. But seriously, it's like
Randy Orton, Bray Wyatt.
Bray Wyatt is not the next fucking Undertaker. He is a cult leader. He is not supernatural.
And
he is a
not
fucking deranged cult leader. Like y'all, like him flashing and shit like that, and like weird images and shit like that, and pouring blood on people. Because I know what they're gonna do. They pretty much gonna have a similar match to what they did at WrestleMania, where it's pretty much like supernatural versus supernatural. Bray Wyatt wanted to bring out the Demon King so we can get the supernatural shit going on and shit like that, so we can have fucking Bray Wyatt versus the fucking Boogeyman. It's just like no. That's not the fucking point. Wrestle first. Like, they completely fucking missed the point. Like, I actually literally, every time I have to watch a Bray Wyatt match now, I literally have to watch an old Bray Wyatt promo just to remember what the fuck he was and why I liked him in the first fucking place. Like, it is really fucking aggravating what they did to that character. So aggravating.
No, and it's annoying because here's something that really pisses me off. Because the shit was never good even back in the old days. And here's this really quick. This is from The Brood, circa 1998. You got Gangrel pouring blood on random people. Look at her. She's like, oh, but it tastes good, though.
She was happy about it.
Why did Deborah look like she was smiling and laughing?
Yeah, she's like, this fucking storyline's stupid. Like,
she's like, I hope my paycheck is higher than I expect right now.
She's like, this reminds me of my lovely husband, Steve. Like,
he was a Jeff Jarrett at the time. Come on, man.
I'm sorry.
The period blood.
Jarrett.
It's that time of the show.
This is foreshadowing my marriage.
Like, and then you hear somebody in the crowd far the distance. They're all gonna laugh at you. They're all gonna laugh at you.
I know, she's gonna start making people fall from the ceiling to their deaths.
Yeah. The whole stage is gonna set on fire.
Fucking egg rolls backstage. I love you, Batista. Fucked up, man. God damn. Fucking. It was Deborah's fault over Chris Benoit. No, but here's the thing, though. God damn, we're just breaking boundaries all fucking day.
Man, this is getting fucking crazy today.
I know. I'm sorry, man. We back, motherfucker.
We back.
Shit, talk about coming back with a vengeance.
I know. WWE Vengeance, 1999.
Hey, we the APA. Yeah.
Are we fully loaded right now? Is this what's going on right now?
Man, dude, this is a battleground, motherfucker.
Oh shit.
Okay, we're gonna stop before we get backlash.
It's about to be a Clash of Champions right here.
I swear to God, man, fucking ultimate throw right. But here's the thing, though, we gotta, we gotta back into this.
Yo, is that ultimate throw right going to become a big time?
I'm just saying, dude, that moment today with the Finn Balor thing, that was like some bad blood. I'm just saying, some bad blood, like a motherfucker.
Guys, can we stop before this show goes to rock bottom?
I'm just saying.
hey, it's already got rock bottom in my house, though.
I was talking about the actual pay-per-view. Hopefully.
Insurrection. I'm just start saying shit.
There's an invasion going on.
Man, I'm sorry, Anthony, but there's no way out of these jokes, bro.
I think Anthony's gonna go to hell.
Nick, you had a point with the footage.
I'm just saying, man, we're getting really taboo here. But
it's not even Tuesday. It's not even Tuesday.
No, it is Tuesday here.
Man, I don't even know what the fuck's going on, but here's the thing, man, okay? That bitch got blood on her, okay? First of all, blood over that bitch. Blood bitch. But here's the thing. Fucking...
Damn.
Go ahead.
Finn Balor. That storyline's stupid with Finn Balor, man. I don't like that shit. I don't like that literally he gets blood on him and then he goes backstage and has a normal-ass interview. Like, he doesn't got blood all over him.
You should have seen how he was reacted when he got the blood poured on him. Like that shit wasn't blood. That shit was like hot sauce or sriracha sauce. The way he was acting, he's just like,
that shit looked like fucking red velvet cake batter or some
good
shit.
jazz.
That should look like red velvet cake batter or something.
And look at his. I'm gonna show you guys this picture. I'm gonna show this thumbnail, cause this motherfucker. look at. Here you go. No, look at this shit. That face looks like he just lost an online game on WWE 2K18. Like that motherfucker. Fuck.
Finn Balor looked like he just ate some girl out on her period.
he's just looking like. You didn't tell me you're on the rack.
Hey. Yeah, he's looking over to Kathy Kelly. You bitch. You didn't tell me.
This motherfucker
I am the boogeyman.
Like Kathy, who's Nick Luzzy?
Wow, what a anniversary this has been.
No, Finn Balor, dude, that motherfucker sucks. Like I gotta tell you. You know what's funny is that all this blood on him is not from that bloodbath thing. This motherfucker just got injured walking to the locker room. Like
I was just about to make the same joke.
Nick, you show no mercy, Nick.
Oh my god.
That was
I was about to make the exact same fucking joke.
a anniversary for your ass.
Nick's bound for glory right now. What do you
That
want?
was the part that wasn't supposed to happen. He just got injured.
Man, comedically, I'm on that victory road right now. I'm just saying.
Man, Nick, you bound for glory.
I just said that.
I know. I had to take it.
Hey, Finn Balor is like, I really fucked up this time. Oh, shit.
He's like, this period blood woke the team in.
He's all like, you mean to say the guy who fought JoJo just beat me right now? Really?
Oh shit.
Oh man. And
But you know what's fun? You know what's funny though? That this Sunday at SummerSlam is going to be exactly 1 year since he was the Demon Balor.
Yeah.
Again. So let's see if he's keeping healthy this Sunday.
But wait, are we sure that he's gonna be a Demon Balor again? Because
No,
he is. They announced it.
They announced the Demon versus.
Wow. Okay, so here's the thing. You know what pisses me off about that? I like how, like, that's cool for video games, but they literally, like, press start and picked alternate costume ahead of time for this fucking pay-per-view.
They press triangle on that bitch all the time.
Like, also, it's like, hey, people, and next week, Retro Kane's back.
They have to get the victory road somehow.
It's like, I don't know who spent the VC to get this character.
No, you had to beat. That's what that match was. He had to beat Bray Wyatt in WWE Showcase mode first.
No. What Bray Wyatt did today was the match objective.
It's gonna be like make your own pay-per-view show on Sunday.
Yeah.
Oh Jesus Christ!
No, how they did it too. It was just like kind of weird. Like it was kind of cool, kind of not. But it was just like, oh, Bray Wyatt wants to see me evil or something like he said. Well, I got my own demons.
Oh,
and so,
I really love seeing pretty motherfuckers try to look threatening. Like the only thing threatening about him is that he might fuck my girlfriend, and I don't have one, so I'm not scared right now. Like.
Hey, well, I was going down a list of TNA pay-per-views to make a next joke, and I just saw they had a pay-per-view called The Whole Effing Show.
Oh, yeah, that was a bad era. God damn. But, like, that's the thing with Finn Balor, man. I feel like this motherfucker is just so flounderable. What happened?
Wait, Seth Rollins is going to come out during this match and do a turnbuckle powerbomb again.
Finn Balor's gonna...
Yeah, Seth Rollins gonna come up, man. You're starting to suck, man. Here's another powerbomb.
I know. This interviewer chick's gonna be like, so how are you bleeding from a fucking powerbomb? He's all like, wait, I got blood on me.
So Finn Balor, you're bleeding. I am. I just fell up the ramp.
I'm ready for the rating.
Her face is so like, but why the fuck did he do that to you?
I'm telling you, man, that's not blood. That's sriracha sauce.
Oh man, teriyaki, man, that's fucking ridiculous. But here's the thing, though, he got in that Doritos jacked. but Finn Balor is just floundering
good right now, bro. Some Doritos.
No, fuck the Jack. I don't like those.
No, not the Jack, man. I want the regular. Not
dude, I did actually. I had a bunch last week, so I was really depressed, and I got the shits bad, dude. Like, be careful. Don't eat like a majority of the bag. Slow that shit down.
Was it worth it though?
Kinda, until my fucking ass was like.
As you said, kinda. That's all that matters.
The top of my crack was wearing a sombrero. That's how fucking Spanish my butthole got. Like, I swear to God. But here's the thing. This is fucking weird show. My ass is like Finn Balor.
God damn it.
And she's like, damn, so many Doritos, why? No, but here's the thing, though. Finn Balor, I mean, we'll see what happens with the Demon King, whatever the fuck thing. I don't know. That shit's going to be stupid. And I know he's going to eventually win the fucking world title or universal title at some point. Yeah. So it's just kind of like a build-up towards that. I don't know. But to move on to the ratings, I want to see what you guys think first. And Trey, I'm going to start off with you, sir, because it doesn't seem like you really hated this episode. So, Trey, I know you're muted, but if you can unmute yourself, you can tell me what you think. What would you rate WWE RAW?
I was going to give it a 2, but after I spent the whole weekend watching a 5-star wrestling event that is New Japan Pro Wrestling, thank God, I'm giving it a 1 out of 5. I mean, it was just, it's not passable to me anymore. It's just like, I can go anywhere and get great wrestling somewhere else, which I did over the weekend. And it's like, man, that was great. I'm high on this, and then, oh, yeah, I got to deal with this bullshit again. And it's like, I mean, there was a few things I liked. Like I said, Sasha Banks and Nia Jax, Emma, and had something in my throat. Mickey James. The beginning segment was okay at best. I'm with you, Anthony, with the Big Show thing. The Big Show thing was pretty cool. I did not care. I don't care for Brock Lesnar. I'm sorry. I just don't care for that match. That Fatal 4-Way, I just don't care. Man, this SummerSlam card is weird. Like, even that whole Enzo hanging up in the gate thing. Like, WWE sent a posted survey. Matches you care for or matches you didn't. And I did a very long-ass survey about why this Enzo match should not happen. That's how much I don't care for this Enzo match. So, this card is weird. Anyway, 1 out of 5.
Damn. Well, I mean, that's probably what I would have said too if I watched this shit. Because anytime I looked up and got my stream to work just for a second, something would be on the screen. I'd be like, man, fuck this shit. But Hovig, how about you, man? What do you think about the show? What would you rate it?
I would have to give it a 2 out of 5. I mean,
2 out of 5? All right.
Yeah, I mean, there was a couple of things that I enjoyed, like the whole reunion with Dean and Seth. It's kind of something I've been waiting for a couple of years, and I'm hoping that they fucking get Roman Reigns out of the main event picture and have him join them as well and have a little Shield reunion. But I did also kind of like the ending segment because I'm still hyped up for that match regardless, the Fatal 4-Way for the Universal title. A lot of the other things I didn't really care for throughout the night. I didn't really hate it, but they were whatever. Except for the 6-man tag match with Jason Jordan, the Hardys versus the Miz Taraj. That was actually pretty fucking good. I mean, I thought that was pretty good. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Now, nothing else too crazy. So yeah, 2 out of 5.
I saw a bit of the Hardys thing. Those guys, man, they're so fucking old, and just like every time they get to the ring, they're so careful because they're like, man, hey, dude, like, hey, Matt, you want to get back on that shit, the painkillers? He's like, no. He's like, well, then fucking just fall down right. Like, no jumping through fucking ropes. You know, it's like, I don't know, it's ridiculous. So I don't like the Hardy Boys right now. I think that they were great when they were trying to kill themselves, and it's not good when people try to kill themselves. So that's not good anymore. It's fucked up. Anthony, what do you think about the show? I'm very curious what you're going to say.
I'm just kind of like mixed between Trey and Hovig. I'll probably just give it like a 1.5 out of 5. It was a lot of things that pissed me off, but it was this one thought that kind of like went through my head, and I'm probably paraphrasing because they kept selling this go home show as SummerSlam come early. That's why you saw a lot of these matches. It was like a weird booking and shit like that. Okay. But it reminded me of that quote that Vince McMahon will always say, like, "Why would you show this on free TV? Like, make those motherfuckers pay for it." And in the business sense, they did a lot of stuff that goes against that. It's like Vince McMahon, I would not be surprised. Like like whoever booked this, it probably wasn't Vince. And if it was Vince, I'd be like, what the fuck, dude? Like that would really just throw me off. Because like I said, why would you show this on free TV? Like, no, they don't show, like, because I like remember, like, and Nick, you can call me if I'm wrong, but I know he had a big thing about that shit back in the day. Like, that was his whole brain process behind pay-per-view, was just like, hey, you're not gonna show this shit on free TV. And they did a lot of that shit tonight. I was just like, that was really weird. And
do you think
commentary,
it's desperate? Like maybe he was trying to compete with football or something, where it's like
maybe like that could be the case, and maybe they was doing it like storyline wise, because a lot of the matches that they had, like I said, we're booking in the sense that why did Tozawa win the cruiserweight when you used to say that for SummerSlam, and then like I said, Bray Wyatt, that whole match, but then again it goes into the storyline that he wanted to do the whole Demon match at SummerSlam. So I'm saying, like, I don't know, like maybe this was all planned, but at the same time it just doesn't make business sense in a sense. Like I guess the whole moniker, like I said, SummerSlam come early, so maybe they had this all planned out. So maybe they did want to make it seem like the fans was getting something that they can only get from SummerSlam, and it was like, oh shit, maybe we gotta watch. So I guess in that sense, I guess it does make somewhat sense to get people watching so they can watch before SummerSlam and stuff like that. So in that sense, I guess it's smart for the SummerSlam go home show. We'll see what they do with Tuesday if they do that shit again, but I hope they don't. Like, just keep it on pay-per-view. Like the commentary was really fucking bad tonight. Booker T especially, because I know we always have complaints about Booker T, but he was really fucking bad. Oh yeah, there he goes. Because he had did something in the match where Michael Cole had pointed out something. He was just like, "Oh yeah, Sasha Banks or somebody reminds me of a young Booker T," and he was like he was like, "What you think, Booker T?" And Booker T was just like, man, this match is like something else, man, something else. And then Michael Cole literally had to stop his point, which is like, apparently Booker T doesn't think so. So, like, he literally had to stop his fucking point.
Because you know that for a fact, Booker T was like, motherfucker, are you serious right now?
it was a lot of that shit throughout the night. And I'm just like, dude, you fucking are bad. Like I said, the whole awkward shit between him switching from a face commentator to like a heel commentator, like out of fucking nowhere. Yeah. So that was actually really weird. Already talked about what I felt like with Bray Wyatt. He's not fucking supernatural. Stop it. Sasha Banks, fuck Sasha Banks. I want Nia Jax to be the monster she can be. The Big Show stuff was okay. Like I said, that whole intensity and stuff like that. Enzo, that actually made me like that promo even more, considering the stuff that you told me, Nick, about the behind the stage, because I felt like that was involved in the storyline. Like that storyline, out of all the storylines,
you can see that, by the way, like, you know, without knowing all this shit. So.
It's meta. Like you can feel that it's meta, and it's just like, huh? That's actually, I always appreciate that type of stuff. Like it goes back into the whole Emma thing. If you're gonna do the whole social media shit, actually make it useful in the context of the wrestling, and actually make it useful. Shit like that. Like if you're just gonna blow kayfabe, then just go all the fucking way. Just use the shit. So it's just like that. And this show really just got me really curious what they're gonna do. Oh, the other thing too that I had to mention, which was really funny because they really, I don't know if they trolling Miz at this point or not, but it was pretty much a point where the Miz was talking to Kurt Angle. It was two moments. First, the Hardy Boys come out and was just laughing and shit awkwardly. Why? I don't know why Matt Hardy has like this weird fucking accent. That's weird. Yeah. And so they were just standing there just like, hot. So I kind of, yeah, it's just, I kind of agree with you, Nick, where the Hardy Boys are just kind of there. I'm just kind of like, man, whatever. And then it was a point where they kind of just completely trolled him, where he was like, hey, you got to talk to Brock or I'm going to fight your son, Jason Jordan. Or Ref comes out of nowhere and says, oh yeah, Bray Wyatt and Finn Balor fighting. We got to go. While Miz is still talking, they just walk out.
Wow.
And the Miz is just like, I was still talking. It's just like, damn, they don't give a fuck about you, boy. Yeah. So I'm just like, wow. Like, even if that was like supposed to happen, if that was a stage promo, that's still kind of fucked up.
I feel like Miz is too good for his own good. Like,
yeah.
Like, he's so taken for obvious fucking granted every time he's on the stage. Like, his theme song doesn't even get popular. So like, oh yeah, he's here. He's always been here. He's so reliable. Fuck him. Like,
yeah,
no,
they
fuck
do.
You. Like,
they do take advantage of the Miz being so loyal as he is, because like he's the fucking Intercontinental Champion, for Christ's sake, and they pretty much just Kurt Angle mid-sentence walks the fuck out.
Yeah,
I'm just like, wow. I'm like, man, that's fucked up. But
maybe they'll lead to the Miz Taraj doing it. Like, man, that's such a stupid fucking name for a team. I hate that shit.
Oh yeah, and then that kind of turned into a whole match with itself, because it was just the Miz versus Jason Jordan, and then.
Which I hate that like too, because it was like, for one, why does Jason Jordan get to fight the Miz? Like, you need to earn fighting the Miz. Why is the Miz?
Well, no. Originally he was scheduled to fight Curtis Axel, And then Miz is like, man, fuck that. I'm going to fight him instead.
Yeah.
And then Kurt Angle's like, okay, fine.
Well, like, Kobe, what do you feel about that decision? Like, do you think that was the right way to go with it? Or, like, I mean, just
Go what?
too random? Just having Miz go in there for that? Because for me, I think that sounds badass. But at the same time, I hate when they do, because Bray Wyatt and the Wyatt family used to do that a lot. It's like Brock Lesnar versus Bray Wyatt. Okay, never mind, Eric Rowan. Oh, never mind, Luke Harper. Okay, fine, fight Brock.
No. So it was kind of continuing from what happened last week, because apparently Curtis Axel was injured and couldn't do the fucking fight because of Brock Lesnar fucking him up. So it was supposed to happen tonight. And then Miz was like, no, forget that. I want to take Jason Jordan. And then he actually
build Curtis Axel then. That's
so so that's exactly what happened. And then all of a sudden, during the match, the fucking Tweedledum interfered and then cost the match. And then,
which is probably setting up for Jason Jordan and the Miz to fight on the pre-show for the title.
Probably.
Yeah. No, man,
so, weird. And I will say that, and just quick 2 points too about SummerSlam. And like, not to go too much into it, but I like the theme song. But I like the SummerSlam aesthetic with the buildings and the graffiti and shit like that.
Oh, yeah, and if
yeah, for real, pretty much in a sense. But in a sense, that would lend itself to a fucking badass stage design. But they're not gonna do it. So
you know, it'd be great. It'd be great if this fucking was the show that Crime Time comes back. That'd be awesome.
those new guys from NXT, those ones that's supposed to be debuting and shit that. I can't remember the fuck their name.
Time Crime.
Yeah, Time Crime. I can't remember their name though. But yeah, that's pretty much my opinions about the show.
Yeah, no, this fucking show sucked. But here's the thing: you know who doesn't suck, man? You don't know who doesn't. You want some segue? Ric Flair, yes. Oh, so here's the thing. And Trey, you have an update on this because you brought it up earlier, and I didn't even hear about it. But apparently, he's out of the coma. I think, or is it? What'd you say?
Yeah, well, they're saying because Dave Meltzer's been updating it apparently, and the last update Dave Meltzer did, and I even checked it a few minutes ago to see if there was any more. That he's out of surgery, which is the positive thing. But the thing is, it's still kind of really bad. Like there's still some bad stuff.
So what exactly happened? I don't know the full story.
He suffered alcoholic. So I forgot the name of it. It's like a disease that happens when you overly drink, where like it starts affecting your kidneys and your kidneys or whatever, and his body's pretty much falling apart because of the alcohol.
Man, all that style and profile is fucking him up.
Yeah,
he's suffering from the motorheads. Like, it's fucked up, man.
It's kind of scary because like Ric Flair, that lifestyle. It's kind of like you got to give him that shit too, because it's like, hey, you a man about your shit. Like you wasn't just the one that's talking. Because you got like a lot of these celebrities, like, oh yeah, do that party life. No, Ric Flair was one of the people, and it's sad that it's like, oh, that moniker, that wrestler moniker, is probably gonna be the thing that leads him to his grave.
Yeah, so. I mean, a grave where he ain't gonna be sad about that shit.
True.
I mean,
you gotta
I gotta tell you, dude, this motherfucker does not give a fuck if he dies or not. Like,
no, he does not.
This is a man's man right here.
Man, Ric Flair is the fucking Highlander. He'd be all right.
Yeah, and God, man, because here's the thing: I've been watching a lot of WCW 1997 stuff or whatever. I gotta tell you, man, like I'm kind of like not digging Ric Flair stuff around that time. But that crowd reaction, though, because I mean, it doesn't resonate with me. I don't really like him that much. I'm gonna be completely honest. But the thing is, the crowd has always loved this motherfucker, whether he's a face or a heel. It's like he comes out and he gets like Stone Cold type pops. Like I remember in WCW, he'd be doing something that is totally not important, especially when Aaron Bischoff was writing for him and making him do shit that's like jobberish or whatever. And he would come out and the crowd's like, whoa, and screaming and shit. And it's just like, this is around the time where there wasn't like no internet like smart mark shit. People just felt, no, like we love this motherfucker, whether he's a bad guy or not. Like we still think this shit's real, and still, if he's a bad guy, we love him. You know?
Yeah.
So it's just amazing to me, and it's just fucking like it sucks that it's going.
He might be losing him. Like I really hate to say it, but we might be losing him. And I was telling you this too, Nick. Like just like the longevity of just how long Ric Flair, granted it's pre-stage or whatever you got to say about that, but just the longevity of how long Ric Flair has been in this fucking business and been doing this shit. He's been in this business longer than fucking marriages. So like he's been doing this shit like about the and like that quote that you always used to say too, like it is actually true what they say too, because it's kind of carrying on with Charlotte in a sense without them even saying it. But in order to be the man, you got to beat the man. Yeah. So and if Ric Flair was that fucking guy, like he was that fucking guy. It's almost all like we about to like he is like passed away already, but like I feel like his time is coming. I really do.
No, I feel
Well,
like his
it's just.
Oh, go ahead, Trey.
Oh, it's just a shame because, like I said earlier before the show, the fact that this guy survived a plane crash and 2 thunderstrikes that literally shocked him that he could have died from. He didn't die, but the disease is called alcoholic cardiomyopathy. I think I said it right. If that's what takes him out, that's such a shame, man. Because even after all that, he just kept on like partying and going on with his life. So I'm hoping like if he survives this surgery, because apparently according to Mean Gene, it was like heart surgery, whatever.
No, hopefully, I think Mean Gene had a kidney failure.
Colon surgery. Yeah.
Oh.
Okay. Well, wait. So his heart is in his ass? Like what the fuck? Colon surgery.
Well, Mean Gene said Ric Flair had colon surgery, but he also has something to do with his heart as well. So.
Damn, man. Yeah.
No, that's the thing, and like you say that, like Trey, like granted, yeah, he survived a like helicopter crash or plane crash or whatever, and then the thunderstrikes. Ric Flair is like, hey, fuck all that. If I'm gonna die, I'm gonna do it myself. I'm gonna.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Him getting hit by lightning, he was that was like a little. Fuck that.
He got hit by lightning. That motherfucker was like, whoa, yeah.
That's probably where he got it from too. Like, woo!
I know, and that's the thing too is that motherfucker about to go to Space Mountain. No, man, but that's the thing, dude. I just Ric Flair. I like I said, I don't like the guy that much. I mean, I hate when people do that thing where like like the Carrie Fisher thing. Anthony, you heard me talk about many times. Like, oh, Carrie Fisher, we love her, but we never watch anything other than Princess Leia. And like Ric Flair, I do know a little bit about the guy, but I didn't watch most of his stuff. But I do respect this motherfucker a whole lot. And I gotta tell you, dude, like I ain't gonna cry for this dude when he goes, and I don't think he wanted anybody to. I think this motherfucker is such a badass, and he didn't need some gimmick of being a badass to be a badass. He just was that guy. And that's it's kind of rare, in wrestling. There's so many fucking characters. You very rarely get a guy who is really who he is outside the fucking show. Ric Flair was that dude. You put him up there with The Rock and Stone Cold, and he's not fake like Hulk Hogan or some shit. You know what I mean? Like this motherfucker is one of the realists. So that's badass.
Like motherfuckers like WWE kicked his ass out because he was drinking too much alcohol. He was pretty much just drunk during promos and shit like that.
Got so drunk, Jim Ross got fired for drinking when it was Ric Flair's drunk ass. Like that's
and the thing is about that. Even after that, he went to TNA and continued that legacy. Even inspiring like Jay Lethal to have that awesome program he had with him, which will always be one of my favorite.
That shit was amazing.
And he elevated all of
I feel like
Matt Morgan and Douglas Williams and AJ Styles and all those guys too. Like when AJ Styles had him as a manager, that was one of the best AJ Styles work I've ever seen, and it gave him the ability to show people what he would be as a heel. That's one of the best teenage moments fucking ever.
He's given a lot to wrestling, like Evolution, the Four Horsemen. Now with Charlotte, he's not even fucking wrestling anymore. He's still giving shit to the company.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, it's amazing, man. It's amazing, and I hope nothing happens, but it probably will. I mean, dude, everyone we fucking like's gonna die. Like, I really feel bad for whoever has to do the eulogy for the Undertaker because the guy is like dead already. Quotes. So it's like that's gonna be a hard one. It's like, how do you not make that pun? Like,
why you gotta bring that up, man?
Because he don't die, bro.
God,
you look like you're watching the Undertaker entrance right now with that purple light in the whole way.
That's shadowing. It's not even a light.
Look, one last thing is that, like, at least Ric Flair, like, if that's where he wants to go out, then that's fine. But at least he's not trying to go out like how Terry Funk is trying to go out. Terry Funk is 73 years old, has said he's going to retire so many times, and he literally says he wants to die in the ring because he wants to die doing what he loves. And that's a shameful thing, man, because he doesn't want to be the opponent that take him out.
Didn't he retire in that Beyond the Mat movie?
Oh, yeah. That was retirement number 3, and he has like 20 more.
That was like, what, back in 99, 2000?
Yeah.
Dude, he literally had a match with Jerry Lawler 4 months ago that was supposed to be his retirement match, and he's still going.
Yeah, and that's the thing, man. These guys get addicted to it, but they still do their shit, man. And I think that Ric Flair might have another match in him, but I don't feel like he has another year in him. I mean, I'll be completely honest. I feel like this dude. And here's the thing that's scary too is like every time Charlotte Flair wins a fucking championship, I feel like that's when he's gonna die because he gets so emotional over this storyline. I want him to go like, "Oh my baby," like
he actually does that talk that he always does. He actually just falls.
Man, I don't want that to happen. I don't want that to happen. I don't want it to be one of those Paul Bear things where, like, Paul Bear's last tweet on Twitter was about Undertaker and Kane. Like, Ric Flair's actual last tweet is about Charlotte. Like, doing the DX.
Let's not give the man a eulogy already.
Yeah. I know I'm going to hell. I'm going to hell with hell for that one. I'm sorry.
Fuck. This is okay, guys. This is his last moment over here. Oh God!
Man, I love it when he does that shit. He's just fucking
man.
elbow dropping.
Attack the chat.
That is fucking
Attack
wrong.
the mat.
Attack the
Attack the
mat?
chat.
Attack the mat.
People, that's gonna be
This
it for tonight,
show-
dude. I am not saying any more things. I feel bad right now, Anthony.
Ooh, I know if Ric Flair dies
It
right
takes
after
a-
this show.
Dude, it
Man,
takes
stop
a good
it.
Samaritan
End
to
the
say
show
some
now.
fucked up
Bye.
shit like that.
See you later.
We
Anime
going to
night,
we
midweek,
going to
midnight. Y'all know the time. Bye. See you
we
later.
go.
Damn.
Damn, yeah. All right, people. We're out of here because Trey's tired.
Yeah, I'm not tired. It's just a fucked up joke.
We going to hell.
Continue. Let's
People,
fucked
thank
up
you very
joke.
much. Attack the mat.
We definitely going to hell, man. We going to
Listen,
hell.
Yeah.
kill Ric Flair.
Rest in peace, Ric Flair.
Fuck y'all.
Judgment Day. We going to hell in a cell. We dead.
Rest
We
in
done.
bed.
Laugh at that.